What is going on, my peeps? What is going on, my peeps? This is your boy Vinaris Scott, the KillaKrane himself. It is November the 23rd, 2000. Add 24 to it. We got us a little crew already. We are going to discuss Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 and that Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. But first, let me introduce my guests. First of all, we have Daryl Double Barrel. What's going on, man?
What's happening, Vinaris?
Man, it is an honor to have you on here, man. We've been left and right on the group chat and everything, man.
I feel honored to be here.
I'm honored to have you, brother. Hey, and it is totally fine, whatever activities you want to do, just about.
That's the starter, man. The starter done. I ain't do something right on my starters.
Somebody said something about your starters.
That's in the background. That's the background.
Oh, okay. I know I wasn't tripping. I was like, is somebody is a ghost? Appreciate you joining, Daryl. And of course, we got the man himself, Fidelsky. What's going on?
I was doing good, man. How y'all doing out here in this nice and beautiful world?
What the hell was that you just showed us?
My lightsaber. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, it looked like that thing. You remember that movie Clue? Where it'd be like Mr. Green kills somebody with the pipe in the bedroom or something.
It's shaped like it's my very, very powerful flashlight, but it's shaped like a lightsaber.
Oh, well,
Somewhat of.
Oh, well. Let me just start this off. If you're gonna get Star Wars on me, you got to bring the heat, cause see, you got the lightsaber.
You keep disappearing in your background.
I got the big arrow, you know. What'd you say?
It kept disappearing when you hold it up. See, when you hold it up, it disappears because of your background.
Oh yeah, keep queuing it out.
Yeah. See?
That bad boy right there. And I got my handy dandy lightsaber. You know, I gotta keep it nerd style around here. Yeah, but let's get it going. Marzel said he's gonna be joining about 30 minutes, and there's probably gonna be some other people that are going to join, and that is cool. But we're gonna get this party started. Let's start right here, guys. This hardcore fight, this bloody hardcore fight to the death match. And of course, you know I'm being facetious.
Yeah, definitely.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Daryl, you're the guest, the brand new guest. So start off, what was your predictions about this fight, and what was your description of the fight afterwards?
Well, I thought for sure that Mike Tyson was going to win. I mean, he had everything in his favor, it seemed like, going into it, but afterwards I kind of felt like that it was scripted, because I had heard that if he knocked him out in the first round, Mike wouldn't get any of the money at all.
Okay. I heard that rumor too. Adelsky, did you hear that?
I knew it was scripted from the start. I wasn't even paying no attention. I wasn't even paying no attention to it. It was like, I'm just watching it because I just want to watch it.
I saw nothing in print online that said that was a stipulation, but that's just a rumor I heard.
Yeah, before the fight, I'm not going to lie, I actually thought that it was going to be real, and I was being very naive because I'm always of the impression that everything on TV is pretty much scripted, but I wanted it to be real, and I saw that, and it was so many times Mike Tyson could have knocked out Jake Paul. You know how Mike Tyson does this deal right here, and then he comes up under, goes to the rib cage and uppercuts him?
Yeah.
There was so many times where Jake had put his arms up like this, and I was like, Mike could have went to that rib cage so easily. But I was like, what the hell is going on?
He okay, now check this out. You seen have you seen his training videos with how he was training?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, now he can't walk right. He had a little brace on his leg. I'm like, come on, dude, really? Like, This man like a machine in the training video. Now he can't do nothing. I'm like, bro, don't do that. I'm like, I know this is gonna be this is so scripted.
It did look like he went from Ivan Drago to Fred G. Sanford.
Yup. and then G stands for gangster.
Man, I heard like Daryl said, that there was a stipulation in the clause that he had to last all the rounds or something, or he wouldn't have got paid. Y'all hear anything like that?
I didn't hear anything like that, but I knew he wasn't gonna get paid if he. I kind of figured he wasn't gonna get paid if he knocked him out because it was to bring up Jake Paul, bring him as I just beat Mike Tyson. So I went 8 rounds with Mike Tyson.
Right.
For many years, I thought that wrestling was real, and I would argue with people that it was real, and they'd laugh at me.
I don't feel bad, man. I felt the same doggone way.
I still watch wrestling. It's still entertaining to me.
What's your favorite wrestler right now?
Nobody. I just be watching it just to see what's gonna make me laugh or who's gonna have the fun. Something that reminds me of back in the old days and stuff. I think it's now it's back on USA, right?
No, I believe,
or
if I'm not
Netflix.
mistaken, it's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah, and I think they said, oh no, they didn't say. I ain't say they said. I heard it was supposed to be back to not PG no more.
Oh, like it's supposed to be kind of, what you call that?
Like back in the day when we had what was it, the Attitude Era back then, like that time.
Mm-hmm.
Trash.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I said I heard it is supposed to be be like the Attitude Era back to then.
Okay. I believe it was somebody I was responding to this in your background or something like that.
Oh yeah, probably was.
Okay. Yeah, like you talking about like the generation they used to do Generation X and all that stuff like that.
They used to have look sex in the bed in the middle of the ring, crap, pulling people clothes off and stuff. Back in the day when it was good, really, really good.
Daryl, did you watch wrestling back in those days when it was good like that?
I did. I always liked the Ric Flair interviews.
Oh man, Ric Flair. Man, I think that's everybody's either top 5 wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
My number one WCW wrestler was Sting.
Mm-hmm. He was my number probably 2. My number 1 was Ultimate Warrior, and Sting was number 2. Surfer Sting, not the Crow Sting. He was okay, but Surfer Sting was my boy. But I'm sorry, let's get back to the fight. Okay.
Yes.
So I said I was going to spend at least about 30 minutes, and I'm giving Marzell a chance to time in. If this was not scripted, how do y'all think the fight would have went?
I think Tyson would have took him in the first round.
In the first round?
I would say second.
Right.
Only reason I would say second because the rounds were shorter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was what, 3-minute rounds or something like that?
2 minute.
2-minute rounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 minutes go like that, so like.
Mm-hmm.
And
so y'all go ahead.
All Jake had to do was run for the first round. That's all he had to really do.
So you don't think that the age would have been a factor since Tyson was 58 and old boy was what, 27? You don't think that would have been a factor?
I don't think so.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, in the first round, no, because I'm about the same age he is. I'm 63, and a fight usually lasts about 5 minutes, and I can tear up a lot of shit in about 5 minutes.
I know you can. Shoot, we have that at our age. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm 46, and you said you're 53.
63, but let's not speak of this again.
Hey, 63 years young though, man. So you're pretty active though. But you know, if we get to that point where we get pissed off as older people, you know what I'm saying? We don't want to put up as much crap, you know what I'm saying? So we have that, you know, what do you call that energy when you're playing like D&D or any what do you call that? RPG game, and you build up the tolerance and you let it out all of a sudden. What do you call it?
Adrenaline. I'm describing it as adrenaline.
Okay, adrenaline. We can put it like that, you know. And we got that experience and stuff. So, yeah, I don't see any situation where if this was real. And a lot of people were saying, well, it's because he was older, and by the third round he ran out of steam. I mean, the dude.
No, he did.
What'd you say?
He definitely didn't.
What do y'all think about? Okay, this is an indication to me too. Hold on, we got another guest. David, what's going on, brother?
So,
Oh man, glad to have you with us as usual. 2 days in a row. I really appreciate you, David.
I didn't see your message. I was waiting until 4 o'clock for me. I didn't realize you started earlier.
Yeah, I had put it on the group chat, you know, and we were trying to agree upon a time. So Marzell said he's going to come in a minute, but right now we're discussing the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. We're going to get it all out. So
Getting it right out of the way, I see.
right, just get this because Cobra Kai is going to take forever. So I'm actually the same question. What were your predictions before the fight, and after you saw the fight? What was your analysis?
My analysis is my prediction was that he was gonna gas him out and try to win by points, which he did, and then it was pretty accurate, but that's only because they went by the script, and that's fine, I guess. But I'm sorry, that fight looked fake. I mean, if the biggest, fake boxer in the world, Rocky Balboa, says, "Yeah, that was fixed," I trust the guy who does fake boxing as a career choice.
Man, that is a good ass point, bro. You know, and he was saying, like, well, Tyson did it for the money and stuff. You can't fault him for that. I mean, Mike was holding back so much, and the clear indication for me, he was biting them gloves hard. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell he was getting mad. You could tell he was really wanting to go at him, but he was like, I need this money.
biting that glove to hold that anger back. Like, oh, I can't knock him out. I can't knock him out.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I gotta do it for my kids. Gotta do it for my
I
kids.
need this money.
I should have realized it. They had an interview with him, like a student interviewed him, like a kid, and he was like, I don't really care about my legacy that much anymore. So he was already willing to just make the money instead of fight for real. I didn't realize that because he was interviewed by a kid. You know, when you're interviewing a kid, you got to be like, oh yeah, I care about my legacy. Everybody should aspire to be like that. But no, he was very nonchalant about it. He was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm fine with how my life is going right now. He was
Right.
chill.
Steven, what's going on, man?
Not much. What y'all talking about tonight?
We starting with the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight.
Oh, I didn't watch it, so.
Oh, okay. Because the first question was, what was your predictions before the fight and your prediction or your analysis afterwards?
I don't know. I can't really comment on it, so I didn't watch the fight.
Okay. Did you read it or watch it afterwards or see any clips of it?
No, not me.
Okay.
All I heard was Mike Tyson got knocked out by some dude, and that was it. I was like, what?
That didn't happen at all.
Right.
That happened?
I think that you was referring to that female fight, but they didn't get knocked out.
Man, that female fight was awesome.
I don't know. Like I said, I heard Tyson got knocked out. I guess I heard wrong.
No. I think that you heard you watched a Rocket fight or something like that.
I mean,
so you didn't see the fight at all, right?
The same guy that did another man's ear during a fight. You know, it's like, how does he lose?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
This is the same guy that bit another. Remember, he fought Evander Holyfield. He bit his ear.
Yeah, yeah, same guy, same
Yeah,
guy.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How could Mike Tyson lose?
Right, right. And we was talking about how he was biting the gloves and stuff. Do you think that was an indication that he was holding back?
I don't know. I didn't see the fight, but I'm sure he was holding back. If old dude swinging against Mike Tyson didn't get his ass beat bad enough, didn't come out bloodied up, then yeah, he
He
was
was
holding back.
definitely holding back punches and everything.
Right, right.
I wouldn't fight Mike Tyson now.
Mm-mm. Even if
I
he
ain't got
let me just punch away on him, I wouldn't fight Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You have to be.
crazy,
What'd you say?
crazy.
You have to be insane. You know that argument, like how much would it take to get in the ring? And somebody, it was on Rocky 2, I think it was. No, Rocky 3, where it's like we have to start at Fort Knox. You remember that?
Yep. I love Rocky.
I mean, but money wouldn't do no good if you knock the fuck out, because all you got to do.
Money, yeah, you're right. Money wouldn't do no good if you knocked out. You got a head trauma. All
Right,
the other crap.
right, exactly.
Straight
Shit.
vegetable.
It was pretty much confirmed that it was kind of fake. I mean, the match before with the females, that was a great match. I mean, you saw them; they were actually going at it. And then the two at the end, they didn't have any of that same passion that those two were when they were fighting in the ring. Like if these two random like boxers that I've never heard of were like going at it, and actually looked like they had the instinct to go for it. And Mike Tyson, one of the greatest boxers of all time, didn't seem to have any sort of like passion in his fight. I mean, that goes to show he probably wasn't paying attention to, actually winning. He was only paying attention to just getting it over with.
Right, right. But you got to give him respect, though. You know what I'm saying? Because he did it for his kids and stuff like that. Does that make you guys seem like any less respectful of a Mike?
Oh no.
Mike is always Mike to me.
Okay.
What I saw was Mike had to chase him around the ring. He did not have the testicular fortitude to go toe to toe with Mike.
Well, that was kind of apparent too, So, oh man, it was crazy. From the get go when I saw him, because they were talking about his leg was supposed to be hurting, but you saw no indication of that in the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. The first round, he was actually fighting. I believe that's when Jake had grabbed him and kind of whispered in his ear, "Hey, man, slow down. I ain't trying to get knocked out."
Right. So, any other thoughts about this fight? It's not 30 minutes yet, and I'm actually looking online for some pictures too of different parts of that fight. I should have got it beforehand, but I didn't get to it. Any thoughts whatsoever?
Did you see that they leaked the script to the fight like a couple days before?
Thank you for bringing that up. What do you guys think about that?
I never saw it.
You didn't see the script?
No.
I seen many scripts online. Some of them weren't even accurate.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said I seen many scripts online, but a lot of them wasn't accurate.
Yeah, they did. I mean, anybody can make up a doggone script. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was kind of wondering about. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can we tell if this is real or not? You know what I'm saying? So, and there was no solid source to say that it was real or not.
Hey guys, I got to drop, but I just want to say I hope the live goes well. I'll see y'all again.
Okay, appreciate you joining by
All right.
real quick.
All right, bye guys.
All right, take care. Hold on, I'm trying to get a picture together. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna close this one out. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. That was another point I wanted to make on that Tyson fight. As far as Paul and his future fights, have you guys heard that he wanted to fight a world champion, but there's been no no, I think next one he wanted to fight Conor McGregor.
No,
Is that right?
he want to fight Canelo.
He want to fight Canelo?
Yeah,
The Canelo that
yeah,
fought Mayweather?
yeah. He wants to fight Canelo. And Canelo, Canelo ain't gonna do that.
Yeah, Canelo, if he agrees to it, he will definitely not sell out. He has a reputation to maintain, and he will knock Jake Paul the frick out.
Yeah, yeah. I don't, if he take that, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Right.
But I know he ain't. But I'm just saying, if he do, boy.
What you think about that, Daryl? What you think about that, David?
I know for a fact there's a lot of people going after him by now. I've seen like so many people challenging Jake Paul. Garcia, a couple of people. I forgot the other guy's name. There's Garcia and two other people who are like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat the shit out of Jake Paul if we ever get in the ring with him. So
Butterbean.
Jake Paul is afraid.
Oh yeah, him too.
Jake Paul won't fight anybody his age, and if he is going after Canelo, I think that's still a bit of an age gap. So, I mean, he'll go for people who are older than him, 100%. That is who he'll go after. So, I mean,
Does Butterbean still fight?
Anybody. Butterbean? I don't know. I think that would be over right there. I mean, Butterbean will knock him out one punch if he still fights.
I mean, you can ask the same question about Tyson. Was Tyson still fighting? No. He had to come out of retirement. Butterbean can come out of fighting. And I just don't see Jake Paul having enough. It'll be like, him trying to hit, what you call that dude on Mike Tyson's Punch Out? The dude from the islands, the big fat one.
I don't know.
Hippo?
Yeah, King Hippo.
King Hippo?
Yeah. I just can't see him just doing any damage to Butterbean. I mean, that's a solid built guy. You know what I'm saying?
Like you say, if he wanted to prove himself in boxing, if he really wanted to prove himself in boxing, boxing, nothing but boxing from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, do it the regular way.
See how far you can get. Can you make that rank?
But there were a lot of fights. There was a lot of individuals that went against each other, and there were two which I'm trying to decide who was the best during that fight. Can y'all help me out with this one? Which one of these was the best?
Now that's the real question.
I think it's the one on the left because I think I follow her.
Oh, did you really?
I mean, let's just say we were not paying attention to the fight that often. I mean, I wasn't listening to what Tyson was saying at the end of that fight.
Right.
They got them center screen right in 4K, man. That was the main thing in the screen. You didn't have Tyson in the middle of the shot. They had that lady right there in the middle of the ring. Netflix knew what they were doing.
Right. They're trying to get our minds off everything.
Most people got mad because Netflix have never had so many people watch Netflix at one time that it was buffering a lot.
Man, that was another one. That's what that was a real fight, was us versus Netflix streaming.
I really enjoyed all the memes that floated around after the fight. And the videos of Mike presenting Holyfield with his ear that he kept in his mouth. And then there was one of him hugging Kamala Harris. He's telling her, you may have lost 20 million, but I made 20 million. It's okay.
Now that was funny. That was comedy.
The funny thing is, Mike Tyson and Evander. The funny thing is, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield are best friends now.
They are. They did that commercial, where it was like candy or some candied ears or something.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm glad. Hey, and what's his name? George Foreman said that he was going to try to get back in the ring. Would you guys watch him get back in the ring?
Absolutely.
You think so?
I don't know. He been
Now,
out a long time.
he
Longer than
had.
Tyson, that's for sure.
Would you say?
Well, he's been out longer than Tyson, that's for sure. So I mean, he coming back, man. I think he should stick to selling grills. I mean, I tried a Foreman grill. It's not that good. I'll be real with you because it was the old one. Probably the new ones are good.
They was okay. You know, to me, a lot of the saturated fats in hamburger meat, you know, I know that's a contradiction or being redundant saying hamburger meat, but you know, that's one of the best things to hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? And so, speaking of which, I know I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but you know, one staple in Clarksdale, Mississippi, me and Fidelski's hometown is Kemp's Hamburger, and Mrs. Kemp has recently passed away. So once again, my condolences to
Yes,
Mrs.
sir.
Kemp.
Yes, sir. Had some of them good old burgers, boy.
Ooh, them chili cheese dogs
Oh my
wrapped in
goodness.
aluminum foil, boy.
Mm-hmm.
And her going up there, and you know, it was a greasy spoon place, so you had smoke everywhere, and you'd be like, "What you want, baby?" And you couldn't see nothing because the menu because there's smoke everywhere, you know. So definitely,
You had to check what everybody was eating outside of the place. Be like, man, what's that? Oh man, that look good. I'm gonna get that right there.
right, right. Especially you came from the club or something like that, you know. Yep, my condolences to that family. But to get back to, we got about 3 more minutes to talk about this fight. Um, what if George Foreman went full rage and he fought Jake Paul? Who do you think will win?
We're talking like
Good.
now, like old George Foreman, or like old George Foreman.
No, old George Foreman right now. Let's just say if they gave him 3 months to get back in shape and he hasn't been in the ring and doing nothing. And he fought Jake Paul, who's, you know, 27 years old and, you know, just now, you know, is fresh and fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's 75 years old. I mean, that's it. And you think Mike Tyson going around the ring was kind of slow? I mean, George Foreman is 75. I mean, I doubt he'd be able to, you know, move around that well. That'd be the only problem. Probably has a strength still, but not the movement.
Ah,
Yep. George Foreman probably go down. Cause he wasn't a big mover anyway. He was a big puncher.
oh
With,
yeah, he
with
was a
age,
powerhouse.
with age comes muscular atrophy. So
Ooh.
wouldn't stand a chance.
Wouldn't stand a chance.
You know,
Woo!
but you know, Jake Paul gonna run. He's not gonna stand there. He's gonna run completely around the ring.
Right, right. And he hit him, you know, in his back. He never fight dirty too.
I,
Yep. I'm sorry. Go ahead, David.
I think again the only reason I think Jake Paul would ever be considered a real boxer is if he fought modern boxers. He has to fight real people like now. He has to fight people around his age that are in his weight class. He's only fighting these older people, these people who haven't been boxing for a while, who are out of their prime. And the ones that he has lost to are the ones closer to his age, which is crazy. He's only going after people who are older than him, and the ones that are younger are automatically like winning. He did win one fight, and that was barely winning because it was a guy who's currently one of the biggest boxers around, and he only beat him because it was his first professional fight.
Right, right. Didn't he fight Johnny Bones Jones in like a boxing match or something?
I haven't checked out too much of Jake Paul's career. I know his first fight, though, first professional one, was with another guy who was not really professional. He was not like, it was like his first boxing fight, you know, first career. Tommy Fury, there you go. Like when he was first showing up.
Oh, right, right. So, you think this is just a money grab for Jake Paul or whatever?
I think it's just a money grab. He's going after people still older than him by a very large amount. And the only
Okay.
person that was close to his age that he beat was an amateur boxer at the time.
Hmm. Okay. So, This is my last question, and then we're gonna move on to Cobra Kai. So, if you guys watched the fight, at the end of the fight, they asked Tyson would he continue boxing, and he was like, I don't know. And he was like, if you did fight, who would you fight? And he said, I'd fight Jake's brother Logan. And Logan said, Tyson, I'd kill you. And he was like, well, there y'all go, confirmed. So if Tyson got back into shape and he went full stream at Logan Paul in a boxing match, who do you think would win? Unscripted.
Mike Tyson, Logan gonna die.
What you think, Daryl?
Gosh, I think his age would, now that I've seen him fight recently, I think his age puts him at a disadvantage. So Logan Paul would run away from him, and the same thing would take place.
Interesting. David?
I think Logan Paul has a way less, win-loss record. He's lost more than he's won fights, his boxing matches. And Mike Tyson, now that he's lost Jake Paul, he might actually try to, get in shape. He has more time. He's already got a couple months of training in him. If that next fight is true and it comes out a few years, I mean, he has more time to train to get back that fire in him. And if it's not a scripted fight, he might actually win. Because it's just giving him more time. He has more time to get back into shape. His injury, if he had one in the first place, will probably be gone by then. He'll have a lot more of a shot at beating Logan Paul than he did with Jake Paul, because it seems like this script and everything else, the leg injury and everything, was just all just not a good time for Mike Tyson.
That man had no leg injury. Oh, fake.
Yeah,
They showed it.
Spry
They showed him after the fight. They showed him getting out the limousine, walking perfectly.
He sure did. I forgot to talk about that too. He sure did. I was like, what did they say in that Friday movie? You ain't sick no more.
I got out of the car and walked. I was like, oh hell no. They could have.
Bruh.
Also, I want to correct myself. The only loss Jake Paul has had ever was against Tommy Fury. He didn't win against him.
Oh yeah, Tommy Fury beat him down.
And then Tommy Fury was only barely starting boxing at the time. He was barely, it was getting into it, you know what I mean? And that he only wins now. He's only won now because everybody else is older. But he's fighting basketball players and out of shape boxers and people older than him.
UFC fighters that retired.
The one person that he lost to was around his age, and that's why he's not going after people his age. So that basically confirms it. The one person he's lost to was 25, and I think that's actually younger than him by 3 years. 2 years, actually.
Right. Kind of reminds me of those video games where you can create a character and it's an unknown character and you go against all these celebrities, that you can download in the video game, and you can give them handicaps and all kind of stuff. And I don't know, that's just what this kind of reminds me of. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
No, I was laughing. I wasn't saying anything.
In other news, I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and I was sitting there talking to the doctor. I told him it was ironic that his computer had an optical mouse.
Oh, like one of them Stephen Hawking, the one Stephen Hawking had.
A cordless mouse. It was an optical mouse.
Technology for you. We're going to talk about that too. I'm glad you brought that up, Daryl. We're going to talk about technology in a future podcast and how it's getting kind of scary with the virtual reality, deep fakes, all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And the influence technology. Me and Fidelsky was just talking about that, how people be like, it's true. I saw it on TikTok. I was like, come on. Is TikTok really the standard for information nowadays?
It is.
Speaking of which, I saw an ad on Facebook the other day where you can just type in the text to a script to a video, and the AI will create the video from your text.
Interesting.
Yeah,
make you a whole movie, huh?
Yes, that's something you might want to look into for your upcoming projects.
I definitely will. Definitely will. There's so much technology out there, and but I'm glad you reminded me of that. I know that Lamar was trying to tell me on a few things, and I was like, some of this stuff, bro, it's scary. The more you tell me about, and the more you can do, I'm like, oh, this we're truly in the future. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna close out the Mike Tyson fight, but like I said, we are all winners because we had these beautiful young ladies who were at the fight. So we were all winning. We got our money's worth. We didn't pay for shit, but you know what I'm
And those who did pay for it, I'm sorry,
saying?
because your streaming was loading all the time.
Hold on.
I mean, I watched it live, but I didn't pay for it. I'm not gonna tell you how.
I think I know. The way that most people do it. Sharing passwords. They said they're gonna stop that some kind of way. I don't know how they're gonna do it. But that's fine. Oh, you didn't want to mention it, and I'm trying to guess what you did. So my apologies.
No, I wasn't sharing passwords by any means, but
Right, right. Well, we're gonna get off that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me change my background and let's get on to the good stuff. All right. Let's get on to Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 2. Before we get into Season 6, would you guys like to recap what has happened so far in the previous 6 seasons?
To be honest with you, I don't know anything about it. But I'm just here as an observer at this point on.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way, Daryl. Did you see the first 3 or 4 Karate Kid movies?
I seem like the first couple, yes.
Okay. So, did you enjoy? What was the main thing that you liked about those films?
Mr. Miyagi stepping up and showing them guys what he was all about. The myth became a legend.
Okay, okay. I'm glad you brought up Mr. Miyagi because he was played by the late great Pat Morita, and here's the thing. We're gonna get to Cobra Kai, but I'm so sure you remember Daryl, but I didn't notice it till later because he did such a good job in Mr. Miyagi. I didn't notice that he was actually on Sanford and Son. Do you remember what part he played in Sanford and Son?
I don't recall.
Do y'all remember what parts, David Fidelsky?
What did it? No.
Arnold from Happy Days.
He was in Happy Days, but he was also on Sanford and Son.
What did the dude from the Cleaners? Nah.
Nope.
I remember him.
I'll give you a hint to his name. Sneezing.
Achu?
Achu. That was his name. His name on Sanford and Son was Achu. And from what I remember, him and Fred opened a Japanese restaurant in his house. And it was kind of funny the way that they tried to, operate it. Because it was like you're supposed to serve the food over the left shoulder and grade it instead of like going to the side of him and putting it over this way. He served the food over his left shoulder and threw it on the person. It was real funny. But the main concern that people had was Pat Morita was a comedian and could he play Mr. Miyagi? And they blew him out of the water. And like Daryl said, that was one of the greatest points of the Karate Kid, how Mr. Miyagi was so badass that he trained. You had these black belts that had been training for 3-4 years, and he trained Daniel for like 8 weeks, and he beat the shit out of all them Cobra Kai boys, So,
one more thing about Pat Morita is I remember that episode of Fresh Prince where Will Smith's trying to defend himself, learn how to fight, and he goes to learn karate, and he sees Mr. Miyagi. He like goes to Pat Morita, And then he's practicing while Pat Morita's like walking away, and he's like, "Wah!" And then he punches through like a board, and then he comes back and he's like, "What have you done to my coffee table?" That was one of my favorite parts of that.
Right. Do you know what his last role, if I'm not mistaken? Please correct me, guys. For those of you who will be watching this in the future, do you know what Pat Morita's last role was? It was a voiceover role, and guess what show it was? Very popular cartoon.
Couldn't tell you.
Huh?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you know the cartoon. It came out in 99, 2000. I give you one. Huh?
You got me. I don't know either.
I give you one hit. Ah!
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Yep. He was like a some kind of guru or something to SpongeBob, I believe it was. And so that was one of his last like roles, Pat Morita. And you know, my condolences to his family, even though he's been passed away for a good little while now. You know what I'm saying?
19 years.
Oh, 19. My God, it's been a long time.
Oh, it's about to be 19 years. Tomorrow is actually the anniversary of when he passed away.
Okay. So let me
That's
actually tomorrow?
Yeah,
Are you
tomorrow,
serious?
the 24th.
Oh wow! Thank you for that tidbit. What a
I
coincidence!
I didn't mean to give you a tidbit like that, but that's a very sad tidbit. But yeah.
Okay. So let me ask this question. In Cobra Kai, Mr. Miyagi, they have him passed away, you know, just like in real life. And then they didn't even attempt to like get a like stunt double or a person who looks like Mr. Miyagi. Do you think that they did the right move by keeping Mr. Miyagi dead, or do you think that they should have kept him on for a few, like the first season, and then killed him off? What do you guys think?
I think it was very respectful to just leave him passed away, because I mean, only one person could play Mr. Miyagi. You know, it's one of those legendary things. Like one person could play Darth Vader. You know, one person can only play. You know, Luke
Two people play
Skywalker.
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the voice. How about the voice? Who do you think of when you think of the voice of Darth Vader?
I think of David, whatever his name was, who had that like English voice. Bring me the passages. I want him alive. Did y'all ever hear that? Like the guy who wore the suit of Darth Vader. He did the dialogue at first, and nobody took him serious because literally he'd sound like that. Bring me those passengers. I want them alive. And I was like, that's Darth Vader, you know?
Would be like, nah, I'm good.
Right. Marcel says he's having an issue joining. Did you get the last link? Look, Marcel, look at. Well, he can't hear me.
You're not
Hold on.
streaming.
I forgot we're not live.
Say it's in the chat. It's in the chat.
Right. Hold on, guys. Look at the link on the chat.
I always like Mr. Miyagi's philosophical advice that he would give Daniel Time.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He always had, like a philosophical view towards the martial arts, and he would give this sage advice. Kind of seemed off the wall, but it pertained.
Right.
So I think they should have kept him on and around in a retired mode just for his comments alone. He would have added to the color of the Cobra Kai.
So I got a question for you, Daryl. If you had a choice of having two people for your sensei, either Mr. Miyagi or Bruce Lee, who would you choose?
It would have to be Bruce Lee, because he is actually my all-time favorite martial artist.
Okay. Delsky?
Man, Bruce Lee is my favorite artist, martial artist, actor. One of my favorite. Well, I ain't gonna say my favorite, but one of my favorite martial art actors.
Okay. David?
I'd pick. I'd pick Mr. Miyagi, because Bruce Lee wouldn't be your sensei; he'd be your Sifu.
Well, yeah, because it's kung fu.
I know I'm getting
True.
all technical on you. I'm just bored.
Good
Yeah,
point,
but I
Chuck.
mean, again, Mr. Miyagi though, he teaches you fast. If you want to learn quick karate, I mean, that's Mr. Miyagi. But if you're willing to put in the work, 100% go for Bruce Lee. But I'm lazy, so I'd want to be like, yeah, 6 months of training to beat black belts. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi had those tricks up his sleeve, and did you guys watch Family Guy? And they had this one skit where it was like, it was like Mr. Miyagi was like, Daniel was like, he was like, "What's wrong, Daniel's son?" He was like, "I have erectile dysfunction," and he said, "Miyagi fix." It's
Hey,
like, man, come on.
hey, Bernard and Daryl, do y'all remember that Brisk commercial, that Brisk IT commercial with Miss Miyagi and Bruce Lee?
I remember that.
Only fool fight man with brisk.
What
That
do you
shit was
say?
I didn't
Only
see it.
fool fight men with brisk.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
"I'm not a karate kid. I'm 44."
Arnold
And
from
then,
Happy Days.
yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, he still looks so young. Doggone, what's his name?
Who?
Ralph Macchio,
Ralph Macchio.
Oh,
plays Daniel LaRusso. He got a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame like a couple days ago.
Yeah, he sure did. We supposed to be talking about Cobra Kai. And for those of y'all who have been, there's a thing going online. Everybody was pissed because Fred G. Sanford, who was Red Fox, was his real name. He never did get a Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever. You guys do know there's thousands of dollars that you have to put down to have somebody put on get a star on the Walk of Fame. So I think that was the main reason. I mean, if fans want to put it together and finally get him a star, I would totally support it. But you know what I'm saying? I just want to bring that up. That just made me remember it. But let's get back to Cobra Kai. So we talked about Mr. Miyagi, the first four movies. There was actually four. A lot of them don't count the next Karate Kid or whatever. But John Avildsen or whatever, they did say that that is part of the canon. So
They're,
everything from the
they're
first
trying to
four.
play coy about it in the beginning.
I'm sorry.
They're trying to play coy about it in the beginning about being connected or not. And then Ralph Macchio was like, actually, yeah, it takes place 3 years after the show, I think he said.
Oh, okay. Speaking of which, I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but um, as far as the Cobra Kai, we could get back to for Daryl's sake, talking about the first four movies. But now that we're on season 6, part 2, and there's only part 3 left, they have included every major character from the Karate Kid, the first four Karate Kid movies. The only one that's left is Julie-san. So, do y'all think that? Hold on, is okay. I'm sorry, that was Marzell. He's trying to get through. Um, that's okay, bro. Period. You can always check back later. Okay.
Did you
So I'm
send him
not
the
sure
link?
what. Huh?
Did you send him the link?
Yeah, I just sent him the link. I texted him the link, and it's working for all y'all. So I don't know why it's not working for him. I don't know. But yeah, Julie. So she is the last one that has not been in Cobra Kai season 6 part 2. They did ask the actress, was she interested in being in it? And she said yes, definitely. And they said that they were having a hard time trying to include her in some kind of way. So, do you guys think in the last part they're gonna fit her in some kind of way? And if you do, how are they gonna fit her in?
I don't know. I never seen the part 4.
You haven't.
No.
They're very
David, have you
different.
seen it?
You're asking me or Daryl?
David. Well, both of y'all, Daryl and David.
I
Yeah,
have seen it.
Any of it.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm the only one that didn't seen it. So,
I've seen it. I said I've seen it.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess both of y'all are speaking at the same time.
Yeah.
So, how do you think they're gonna fit her in? If do you think they will fit her in?
I mean, if they do, I mean, it'd have to be very difficult. The last part would have been just fine. This part currently that was out, that would have to do it. She's only gonna get a cameo or something at this point, not like an actual full scene if she does show up.
Yeah.
I think the way that they'd fit her in is, again, well, Tori's going through it right now. Her teammate just got killed and stuff. And then, Daniel LaRusso is probably going to disappear. The way that they could have done it is they'd have Julie Pierce show up instead of having Johnny come back. That would have been the way to introduce her, but they already got her. They already came back really quickly. Like, their whole I'm leaving, me and Miguel are leaving thing meant nothing after that. That's the way they would have included her, because then they'd be like, oh, we have another sensei. Is the other person trained by Mr. Miyagi.
Right. Right. They could as well. What I was thinking, there's a part in season 6. Well, the whole thing about Miyagi's secret, that he was keeping from Daniel, and maybe she has the key to all the secrets or something. I don't know.
Or maybe he left something with her that only she has. You know what I mean? There's a couple of things that could have happened.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you have to go with Rocky, Colt, or Tum Tum to get a good answer. You have to find those three ninjas.
You said what? Who doing what?
Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum, the three ninjas. You got to ask them. They know the answer. Those are the only three that haven't been in the movie.
The three ninjas? What is that from? Wait a minute.
You haven't seen the three ninjas?
It's been so long, and those movies were kind of like, I don't know. They were just didn't the guy who played in the Ninja Turtles, Kino, wasn't he in the Three Ninjas?
Surf ninjas. I'm talking about the three ninjas where it's like the three little kids who learn from like their grandpa, who looks exactly like Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, I totally forgot about that movie.
You don't remember that? Rocky loves Emily. That movie was all over the place.
I totally forgot about that. That was one of those cute martial art movies that was like Home Alone mixed with Karate Kid mixed with something else.
Ted. They copied Karate Kid 100% for that, and it became really popular. They made 3 whole movies about it, like 3 whole sequels. So there's 4 movies in total, and they all have different kids in each one.
Right.
I know.
Sometimes they had to, back in those days, if they had a problem with kids, and parents complaining they weren't getting paid enough and all that stuff like that. That's for another podcast. But yeah. So I guess I'll move on from. Oh, is there any other people in Cobra Kai in the Cobra Kai series that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Oh yeah, Jackie Chan and Trey Parker.
Well, no, that doesn't really count because the Jaden Smith Karate Kid, that's in a different universe.
Well, technically not anymore, considering the movie. They got him coming back.
Well, that's yet to be seen. I haven't seen the script of that, so we're gonna see if Jackie Chan gets included in it, or if, Jaden Smith version gets included in it. So let's move on. So what I'm gonna do, well, I guess we'll go character by character and see what your thoughts on the rest of the season is. Well, actually, let's discuss part 2. What happened in there? So
I think I'm going to bow out at this time and give your friend an opportunity to log on, because I think he would be able to provide you with more input than I can at this point. So you guys, good evening.
That's a good point, and it may be the point that you can only have 4 people at a time or something like that.
Yes.
So
you guys have a great evening, and I've really enjoyed this. Thank you.
Hey, if you got a subject that you want us to talk about, Daryl, just let me know.
I sure will. I've got plenty of ideas. I'll let you know.
Yeah, just text it to put it in the group chat, brother.
Yes, sir. Good night, guys.
Yes, sir. Okay. So Hold on, we're gonna give Daryl a time to log out. Well, we can continue on. It looks like he's frozen for some reason. Let's see. Let's move. Okay, there we go. Okay.
You should
Let me
message the
take-
group chat one more time. Make sure everybody knows.
Right. Hey, bro. Period. Try to log it back in now. Period. I think we had too many people online at that time. Period. One dropped out, so you should be able to get in. Okay.
Who was the guy on the stream last night who was commentating a lot?
Which one was he live or was he commenting just from the text
He
or
was
whatever?
commentating on the live stream, like in the comments.
I think it was Ken that was commenting yesterday.
He wanted to be a part of this. I don't know where he is now.
I posted the link or whatever. So
Was he in the group chat?
Yeah, I just put him in the group chat and he said he really wanted to join. And I think he would have added a lot of stuff. He still has some time. So we have another hour before we close out.
Wait, oh yeah, there he is. I was looking for him. All right,
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Okay, season 6, part 2. Now, if Marzell gets back in here, we're gonna have him recap that Tyson fight. Then we're going to recap, the parts of season 6 that we haven't talked about yet. But both of y'all have seen part 2 of season 6, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So what was your favorite part?
The end when they all fought.
The battle royale.
Yep.
I liked it when they finally had Miguel, fight again. I don't know what the heck they've been doing with him. They've been not letting him fight. When he fought those 2 people during the Sekai Tekai, and he showed off before he had to leave to help his mom. He showed off. I mean, he proved that he was one of the strongest members of Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do at the same time by beating 2 whole people at once, and very easily. They don't let Miguel show off that often anymore. Not since like season 2 maybe. So the fact that they actually did was great.
Right. And in that battle royale, the end of it, they were cutting up. And I want to discuss it. I think I'll take a stab at it, at what happened at the end. I guess y'all ain't catching the joke, huh?
I caught it.
What happened?
So, do y'all think that they're gonna retcon him that he's still alive, or you think he can just go ahead and pick up his paycheck?
Who?
Oh boy, Quan.
Who? Oh man, Quan dead.
As simple as that.
So he can pick up his paycheck, huh?
Quan said, "Ah!"
He had that Wilhelm scream, that, like they always do in the movies. Oh my God. I guess that's one of those symbolic lay on your sword type things. It was almost Shakespearean, you know what I'm saying? And so what do y'all think is going to happen as a result? I guess for the rest of rest of the series, what's going to happen?
Well, the rest of the season, technically, but I think they can't be doing the Sekai Tekai no more. They're probably gonna cancel the Sekai Tekai, right? That's
Right.
the idea.
That's what I thought.
Because the person's dead, but Terry Silver is not gonna take that, and he's probably gonna challenge them, and then they got a big old street fight instead, and that's how they'll handle things, in a street fight rather than a tournament.
Interesting. Have a Rocky 5 type thing,
Yeah.
Gonna be some underground fighting.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because, think about this. They can't have the Sekai Tekai. Somebody had passed away right on screen in front of everybody, on camera. The only way that Terry Silver or Daniel is going to get into a fight again is if, they challenge them, in a different setting. Because not only they're going to trace the knife back to Kreese, so Kreese can't do anything. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, y'all keep talking. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm answering text messages and everything like that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I also wanted to bring up, do you guys see a connection between how they just read that Mr. Miyagi was in the Sekai Tekai and it ended in a death, but in this one ended in a death as well? Do you think that they're trying to make a connection of some sort?
What, like shit happens?
I don't know. I just see that there's two deaths and they're going to connect it in some way. I personally see, I don't know. Maybe they're not going to do it the way everybody's thinking, that Mr. Miyagi joined the tournament and he had to beat him up so bad that he killed somebody. I believe that maybe his opponent that he was supposed to fight, he didn't want to fight him, but the opponent died from an external fight or something like that. And Mr. Miyagi felt, I don't know, responsible in some way, but I don't see him as be like turning the flipping the script like that. Like Mr. Miyagi was a killer and now he's a pacifist. I believe that. And another thing, remember in the first Karate Kid, he Daniel asked him about a tournament, and he was like, "I don't know how these things work. This is my first time." So
Right.
that would make either Mr. Miyagi out to be a liar or contradict to the script. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Hey.
maybe that's what he meant by I don't know what a tournament is, because maybe he was challenged by him in a fight, and it was the Sekai Tech guy at the time, and like they were rivals, the person he fought, and he ended up accidentally killing him because he didn't know the rules of the tournament. We don't really know what Mr. Miyagi was like when he was young. He probably was in a fight. You ever seen that bad Bruce Lee movie that's out? I forgot what it's called. The stupid one where it's got the guy playing Bruce Lee doesn't look a thing like him. I forgot what it's called. Legend of the Dragon, I think. Or no, Birth of the Dragon. It's not that good of a movie where he fights that guy. What's his name? Wong Jack Man in a fight.
Yeah.
The reason Wong Jack Man was there was because he got into a fight and then he took it too far and injured the man. So maybe it's something like that where he doesn't understand the rules of the tournament, and he was letting anger cloud his judgment and he killed him, and then that's why he's like living a peaceful life, because that's why he's being more of a pacifist, because he doesn't want to fight. That's why in the third movie he's like, Daniel, don't I can't help you fight a tournament. That was only one time when you had to gain your honor back or whatever. That's why he doesn't want him to do another tournament in the sequel.
Yeah.
Because it was like that one time for his balance. That one time is why he taught him for the tournament. And then the third time, he was like, yeah, don't. The third movie, he was like, yeah, I don't want you doing another one. Early retirement.
Interesting. Fidelski?
Man, they might turn them bad. That's what they do. That's what they doing to everybody nowadays. Mufasa gonna be the bad person in a new movie. They turning everybody you thought was heroes against you.
I don't like that. The way they retconning everybody to, the bad person was actually good and the good person was actually the bad, and now there's all these different perspectives. I wanted to make another video because I hated that dude who came with that YouTube video. He was talking about Daniel was actually the bully. I was like, bullshit. Johnny did a lot of stuff that was against the law, and I counted it. You know what I'm saying? Johnny would have got at least 20 years for the stuff that he did. You know what I'm saying, to Daniel LaRusso. You know what I'm saying? So I'll have to break it down, but I don't want to get into it now. But I don't like when they do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like retconning all these people and stuff like that. So I don't know. I hope they don't do that to Mr. Miyagi, because he's like the ultimate, like, not only pacifist, but
it kind of fits though. I mean, think about it. When he fought Sato and he beat him, Mr. Miyagi probably was a bit of a scrapper back in the day, because that's the second movie when they first wrote him, they were first writing about him, and he beat Sato in a fight. In the second movie, his rival. So it proves that Mr. Miyagi, when he was young, he was he liked to fight people. He was into fighting people.
Actually, in the second movie, it said that he didn't fight Sato. He told him he went from the village and said, hey, I'm going to marry Yugi. and Sato challenged him to a fight to the death, and Mr. Miyagi left instead of fighting.
Maybe that's why, because that's in the Sekai Tekai he killed somebody, and he was like, I can't fight somebody to the death again.
Maybe. I have to see where in the timeline that, was it after he joined the army after World War II, or when was that? The Sekai Tekai.
No, I think maybe that's it. They're trying to draw parallels from Kreese to Miyagi. They're like, he killed somebody in a fight too, something like that. He got trained by his father, and he became like a war veteran who like killed somebody while fighting.
Yeah.
They're trying to, maybe that's what they're try to draw parallels. Look, Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence weren't so different after all. Not even their senseis were that different.
Yeah, maybe. I see Mr. Miyagi as maybe, even if he did kill the guy, maybe he was trying to do some self-defense move, like push him away, and the guy had some health problem, and maybe he, died. Mr. Miyagi didn't try to, and he was like, well, I don't know my own strength. Even when I'm trying not to hurt somebody, I hurt somebody. So maybe that's it.
Even in the second movie, when he does her honk thing, when he honks his nose, he's like, I could have killed him, but he knows better, because that's probably it. That's probably why he does a lot of stuff in the first movie. They weren't planning on it, on him being a killer. Those little details of him like teaching Daniel that violence isn't always the answer. Maybe that's his own way of trying to repent for accidentally killing somebody in the ring, where he's like, well, violence isn't always the answer, Daniel-san, but defending yourself is just fine. But you got to be careful when you do it. You got to know when to fight and when to not be there.
Right.
That's why he doesn't respect tournaments that much, because that was it was just a tournament. It wasn't supposed to be a death tournament, like to the death.
Right.
Like, fighting should only be for defense, and that's why he doesn't respect tournaments.
Right.
Because he realized at that point when he killed somebody, he was like, that's not the reason anybody should be using karate.
That's a good analogy.
It's a good theory. I hope that's right. Like, he accidentally killed somebody, and then he's like, I don't like tournaments no more. Daniel, you only do this once to defend yourself and get balance. Otherwise Daniel will end up trying to fight more people. And when the second movie, he's like, I want to keep doing this. I'm going to try to keep going my career and stuff. And he's like, no, that was only for defense. Not for
step closer to your mic. I can barely hear you.
Oh, my mic was on the floor. But that's what I'm saying though. He's like that one tournament, and that was only to defend yourself and to find balance. That's it, no more after that, because he doesn't respect tournaments. He's only doing it so that way Daniel would never have to fight again. Because if he sees Daniel going down the path to being this big old tournament champ, again confident and using it to hurt people rather than to just defend himself, he'll see him like a reflection of himself when he was a bit of a scrapper and was willing to do it at tournaments himself and accidentally killed somebody.
Okay. Delsky, you agree, disagree?
I agree. But this damn time, man, they can go anywhere they want with this.
Yep, pretty much. And I'm not sure.
Personally, I didn't expect nobody to die in Cobra Kai.
Right. And the way the guy, I don't know. Maybe this will be the turning point, because everybody has to come full circle. This is the last tidbit. So maybe this turns Terry Silver and John Kreese into, maybe they're like, hey, this has gone too far, and maybe they change their ways. Maybe they turn themselves in. I don't know what's going to go on. You know what I'm saying? So do you think that it's going to end with John Kreese or Terry Silver dying?
Probably, because John Kreese already trying to kill him.
Yeah. What do you think, David?
I think that neither one of them are going to die.
You don't think so?
I think this is how, what's his name? Daniel LaRusso's full story comes full circle. Maybe Quan didn't die. Maybe he just got injured. Maybe they missed his heart barely. And then he does that healing stuff that Mr. Miyagi taught him. And because, in the first season, he does this. Nurse.
Right.
Maybe this is where he's like, I learned how to I learned how to heal, or like he tries that, and then that's when Julie Pierce shows up and she helps him. You know what I mean? That could be it. I mean, maybe the knife missed his heart, and then Mr. Miyagi taught her some like methods of healing somebody from a stab wound. That's only if they don't actually kill Quan off. I'm not sure if they did or not. 100%, he's probably dead. But that's like that'd be my way of getting Julie Pierce in there and getting full circle for Daniel, where he learns how karate could be used for healing and not just violence.
Huh, interesting.
Everything's gonna stop coming down.
Huh?
Everything's gonna
So,
stop coming
as
down.
far
No,
as
I'm
these
saying
two,
went to the bathroom.
do you have any more comments left on just these two individuals and their outcome of what's going to happen?
I mean, they're both either gonna go to jail. I think they're gonna try to redeem Kreese because they tried to make him more sympathetic in the second season. I think. So they're gonna try to do something with Kreese. They're gonna try to redeem him or something. But Sherry Silver,
Kreese ain't getting redeemed at all.
You don't think so?
Nah, because what you said, he been saying some little sly stuff in a show about old girl and her mama, and I'm like,
Yep, that's what I've been saying. One of these two had something to do with killing her mama. I 100% believe that.
they keep saying sometimes you just got to pretend to be the good guy. You're like, what the fuck? Like, oh, okay,
all I know
okay.
is if they can't redeem Kreese, they definitely can't redeem Terry Silver. That dude tried to kill Chosen in his season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But to be fair about
I
it,
keep forgetting that he was about to kill Chosen. He barely, missed that last shot where he slashed him in the back there.
but to be fair, Johnny and Chosen broke into their homes while they were drunk as a skunk with weapons already in their hands. So, I mean, it was self-defense 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but he still lost the legal battle somehow.
right, because of old boy.
I will say though, I mean, Terry Silver got lucky. He 100% got lucky that night that those two were both drunk, and that what's his name, Mike Barnes, was on PCP and not paying attention to anything going on around him.
Yep.
It was lucky for him. They're all drugged out, and they only barely got out of that alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine Chosen. That dude was drunk, and he was going toe to toe with him, man.
Right. And it was his first time getting drunk. So he was very sensitive to the alcohol, So
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't drink. But I mean, Terry Silver, man, and Terry Silver's lucky. Those three were both not in the best of mindsets. They were inebriated.
very much so. Super inebriated, And that dude was taking jello shots and everything. So, speaking of which, next person we're going to get to, Chosen. Now, what do you think is going to be the outcome from him? Because we saw on part 2 that he went over Kamiko's house and there was some pool boy or something there with his shirt off. And it seemed like to me, this is my analysis. It's one of those things where you have like those romantic comedies where the person comes in and he thinks that his girlfriend or boyfriend is cheating, and they don't ask enough questions, and they just take it for granted that they're being cheated on. But later on, they find out, hey, that was my cousin, or that was somebody who broke into my house or something, and you should have asked questions, or I was out of town, and something like that. So I could see something like that happening. And
all I know is I feel bad for Chosen. He tried to go for Kamiko and then ran to the next Kim he saw. Think about that. He went for Kamiko and then he saw Kim and it was like, yeah, you know what? It's a different Kim, but it's all right for me.
hey,
that's his new girl. That's his new girl now.
Huh?
That's his new girl now.
Uh-huh.
You heard at the end. Is this a mistake now? Like, no, this is. He said something. This is what? He said something. He said, because he asked, was it a mistake again? And she said, and he was like, something. He said something before they started fighting. I forgot what he said.
Yeah, it was like, what did he say? She was like, a mistake. That's what that was. You know what?
One of those TLC movies, man. A mistake.
Right, right.
I
Um,
will say though, I do like it. I do like it because they both know karate. But I mean, it would have. I'm fine with him not getting with Kamiko. In the first movie, he did not respect her at all in that movie. So, I mean, I would not. I would not think that she would be down with dating him at all, even though he's changed. I
yeah,
mean,
she
the dude
gonna have to-
threw her into a wall, kind of. So I mean, I doubt she'd be down.
yeah. Then he tried to fucking kill that little girl, stab her. That was Kamiko. Yeah, he tried to kill her. He's like, either she dies or you fight me to the death. But I don't think that Chosen was trying to kill Daniel because he was going straight. He wasn't playing defensive at all. He was going straight offensive, and that's why Daniel kind of beat him up. I think he kind of let Daniel beat him up because he wanted his honor, and he thought that him dying in battle would give him some honor. So I just can't see what's the name Daniel beating him. You know what I'm saying?
I think that he was trying a little bit, but the moment he saw that nobody was on his side, he was like, it was over. You know what I mean? He thought he
Yeah,
had the home field advantage, and then he did not. Because when he saw those drums come out, he was freaked out by it. He did not know what was going on because Sato clearly knew what the drum technique was, but he did not teach it to Chosen at all.
right. So, but he did change big time. I would like to hear the story of what happened to him and how he changed. Um, but like he said, he did end up with Kim, Master Kim, on the Master Kim's niece or whatever on the beach. And I don't think that Chosen nor Master Kim would have had condoms in their pockets. So maybe there's a kid that's gonna be on the way
I mean, I
after
would
this.
no, they're not gonna. We're not gonna get that season. Maybe if they do a little recap, like on my block, they have a little scene when she's pregnant and stuff. I don't know if you've seen that show, but that show used to be really popular. On my block, it's they have a little ending of a season where they have like a little recap where like a year or something has passed, and then it shows where everybody is. And like, there's a scene where like this guy, like his wife's pregnant, and he has a wife in the first place. He did not have one in the beginning of the show.
Right.
It's gonna be like that. You're gonna see a pregnant Kim. You're gonna see Chosen. You're probably gonna see a dead Kreese.
Right.
It'll be like that scene from Casino where you just see like you just hear like the animals playing and she just dies. Just go something like that.
That's a possibility. Huh. Vadesky, you haven't spoken in a minute.
Oh man, I'm up here. I'm listening to y'all, but I'm dealing with a plumbing problem. So that's what I'm back and forth walking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
trying to make sure it don't flood in here again.
Oh man, that's super important. Well,
Yeah,
which one would you rather see him get with, Kamiko or Kim?
Kim.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Think
Man,
Kim. I think Kim.
it ain't a
Kim kind of
Bulma and
hot.
Vegeta
Kim kind of
situation.
hot.
You said a Vegeta.
It's like he's like Vegeta and Bulma. I mean, it's not like that. I mean, Bulma didn't like Vegeta at all. It'll be like
Right.
that if Kim Miko got with got with him, but I doubt that's gonna happen.
Right.
I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. He was trying to kill her. He threatened to kill her. I doubt she'd be down with that. Some women would be down with that, but I doubt Kimiko. She has too much pride for that.
Well, I mean, if he does have the whole bad boy thing, which from my experience with dating in the past, women love that bad boy attitude. Some of them even stay with men who abuse them. And so they also love a man who they think they can change. So if he comes up there and he's like, yeah, I used to be hardcore and bad, but you changed me and now I'm in love with you and all that stuff like that. Maybe. I mean,
I
that's
don't see
always
that. I don't see that, man. But maybe.
well, they always love a love story like that. So Kim and Chosen, I wouldn't be mad at them for getting together. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt before the season's up. God, I'd like to see how they get together if they get together, or Kamiko maybe. I don't know. I see it as the Kamiko is going to get with him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
just
I'm not
thinking.
saying
I
that's what I
always thought
want.
Kamiko was gonna get with Daniel, but then in the show they have him with this lady named Amanda, who we don't even know. Like it's not even one of the girls he dated. I mean, Daniel Russo went through girlfriends like Craig did in Friday.
Right.
Like,
Actually,
dude,
did you not? It was season 4, I think it was. It was shown that in the Karate Kid part 3, that girl he dated for like a week or something.
you're
That
Robin.
Yeah, the one she made the what's that little pot for the trees or whatever.
Yeah, the vase.
So they broke up, but she introduced Daniel to her cousin, and her cousin is Amanda.
Yeah, well, that don't mean we know who that lady is still.
Yeah, yeah. She, she
I'm just
was
saying, everybody was either expecting it was gonna be Allie, it was gonna be Kamiko, it was gonna be Robin, and we got this random lady named Amanda who don't even like her own son.
well, we now know she's the brother of Sheldon Cooper in the Big Bang Theory, or the sister rather.
Yep. I will say though, I did like Kimiko in the original movies more than I liked Allie. Well, not Allie, more than I liked Robin.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Robin, they just kind of threw it in there. And even Ralph Julia, not Ralph. Why I keep calling him Ralph Julia? God, I miss Ralph Julia so much. What's his name?
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. Okay, thank you. Macchio. I'm sorry. Um,
Macchiato.
yeah, he said in Karate Kid Part 3 that it was just a rehash of Karate Kid Part 1, and they just kind of threw stuff together because originally it was supposed to be Karate Kid Part 3 was supposed to be a prequel where they talk about the history of the Miyagi family, but they just couldn't get it together, so they had to throw this stuff in. It wasn't bad to me.
It
Karate
was a
Kid
little.
Part.
I didn't like it too much. I think that Mike Barnes wasn't as cool as Chosen. Like, what's the matter? Having trouble breathing? You're scared of me, despite the fact that the last guy you fought was gonna kill you.
Right.
I didn't get impressed by that. I mean, like the last guy was like going to kill him, had a knife to his girlfriend, and then this guy's like, "I'm gonna kick this girl once." Ugh.
Right. Right.
The way I see it, if they were gonna do that movie, they'd have to if the way they should have done it, that should have been the second movie, and then have Karate Kid 2 be the third movie because that the stakes are too high in the second movie for that to be the last Daniel LaRusso movie.
Right. True. True. It did to be honest kind of threw me off. You know what I'm saying? And so ugh. Let me see. It was another part of Part 3. It didn't sit well with me. But like I said, overall it was okay. Terry Silver really sold that movie. That was the part. He was like a comic book villain. The way he was laughing and just how crazy he was.
It's crazy thinking that him and Ralph Macchio were like the same age. In fact, he's older than him. He's
Ralph,
older
yep,
than Terry Silver.
yep.
Which is why
He
you
actually,
actually don't in that movie you don't see Robin and Daniel kissing at all or even on a date because he was like 10 years older than her.
right, right.
But apparently they were dating according to Cobra Kai. So.
Yeah, they were. Um, Something else about what is it? I can't put my finger on it. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I liked it. It was okay. I'm not saying that it was a good version of Karate Kid, but the way that it ended, and then in Cobra Kai we got the tournament things again. It's like what 3 or 4 different tournaments in Cobra Kai.
Yep. Well,
Mm-hmm.
there's only 3 tournaments. There's the first season tournament, which was the cool one. Then they have the second season, like the second tournament, which is like all the way in season 4, I think. And then they have the Sekai Tekai, only 3. And then there was that little fight, like the little scuffle. I wouldn't call it a tournament, where it was Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do to get into the Sekai Tekai. I wouldn't call that tournament. That was more like a 1v1 style situation.
Right. So, let's move on to the next character. What do you think? What do you predict for the rest of the season? Where is she gonna go?
She might go back to Miyagi-Do. I think she will, but I think she needs some convincing. She's already kind of looking like she wants to join back up with Miyagi-Do already, though.
She going back to Miyagi though, because Kim told her they're not your friends, and then they proved it at the end that they were.
Okay. Why do y'all think she joined on Cobra Kai side anyway?
I mean, Kreese did the thing, he's like, you want to join up with us? That kind of stuff. Also, I think she needed the money. She also really needed the money to support her little brother. So, I mean, she has to support her little brother. She needs the money, because Sam, she didn't feel like, she knew Sam was going to have her dad's favor no matter what in that. So, I mean, even if she did
That's
win,
what she said. That's what she
she
said too.
She wouldn't get
Say
a
what's
shot,
that?
man.
That's what she said. Sam was gonna always be the favorite. I want to go make it over there.
I mean, which is kind of true. I mean, Daniel, he's always going to pick his daughter first because, he's a dad first, his sensei second. So, even then, though, Johnny would have been like, yeah, Tori should be it. So that'd be the big source of controversy. So she knew she wouldn't have a shot there, so she went to Cobra Kai and became the captain there instead, the co-captain.
Right. Well, she's the captain now. I said she's the captain now.
Yeah. Well, it's probably that new guy. I think Cobra Kai will get eliminated, though. I think, because of what happened and how he had the knife in his hand, Cobra Kai is going to get out of the tournament altogether if the tournament still goes on.
Yeah. But like y'all said, there's some kind of, extra fight that's going to happen somewhere else. Or else they're going to have, this whole, take the team captains and they're going to fight. I don't know what's going to happen. But it's going to be grand.
You ever seen that movie Never Back Down? I think
so.
That's like that MMA version of Karate Kid that came out 10, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I never did watch the whole movie.
There's a scene at the end where the guy realizes that the person he wanted to fight wasn't in the tournament, so he just bows out and he's like, yeah, I'm done with this. And then he's like, oh, wait. And then the guy's like, hey, you were supposed to stay in the tournament and win. I don't care if I'm not in it. You're supposed to win this because that's what it's about. And the guy's like, I only wanted to fight you. This wasn't about the tournament. So they end up having a street fight. I think it'll be something like that. Where it's like, we didn't want to win the tournament. We just wanted to take you down.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it will be. We didn't care about the tournament. We don't care about that. We just cared about beating you down. That's Terry Silver. He doesn't care about winning the Sekai Tekai. He cares about, defeating Miyagi-Do.
Gotta be the best.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta beat the best to be the best.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Fidelsky, because it seems like a lot of Cobra Kai, it's been emulating parts of other movies, 80s movies. Like the last one, they were talking, there was a lot of references to Rocky. You know what I'm saying? Especially Rocky almost, his wife was in the hospital and he had to stop training, and he found out that his wife was okay, and his wife's like, I want you to do one thing, win. And that's the same thing that Miguel's mama said to Johnny Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? That's just one thing I want you to do is win. So I think that the final part is going to be similar to another 80s movie, the way that it ended. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's more like Rocky 4, this one, because they're in another country and stuff. They clearly want this random dude who's Sam's messing with to to be the next Ivan Drago of the group.
Don't put Sam out like that, man. She's not messing with that guy.
I know she ain't. I know she ain't. She knows better. But if you actually look at the scene where she brings up, like, you don't know what he's been through, you can see Hawk's face. He's like, ugh. Hawk's like, yeah, she's gonna do it again.
Right. She's always
Hawk's not
been
down.
full.
You know, a little messy, man. She goes around.
Yeah, she does. She's been messy, like what they say, messy like Jesse.
She was just
Speaking of
playing.
which,
She knows better now, I think. But even like even her own teammates are like, Hawk's like, yeah, she gonna do something. I'm glad she didn't do anything with him though. You know, that about 100%. If it was like season 2, season 3, meet Sam.
Robbie
100%.
made that mistake.
oh yeah, he slept with I don't blame him though, but he slept with that other like what team was she on?
She was
The
on
same team that big old dude on.
Ivan Drago. This
Yeah,
guy,
Ivan Drago lookalike cousin.
Iron Dragons, the Terry Silver team. The Iron Dragon Zara. That's her name, Zara.
I mean, there was a misunderstanding between him and Tori, and you know who would have turned that woman down? You know what I'm saying? So, woo. So I'm not saying he was right. I'm not saying he was wrong either. I'm just saying I ain't mad at him.
I'm just saying he had a point.
Right. Oh,
I can see the logic. I personally wouldn't have fumbled Tori, but I mean,
I mean, there was a lot of mixed emotions going on. There was a tournament going
really
on.
messed up. The one who really messed up is Dimitri, bro.
Yeah,
Dude, that
but his
bad
boy
girl
should have known better than that.
Huh?
His boy should have known better than to record that. He should have looked around his shoulder at first,
I mean, I'm guessing Hawk knew. He had to have known.
Right.
Like, Dimitri's really pissing me off. I'm gonna expose his ass.
Cock block. That's another thing.
Well, even though Hawk knew better, Dimitri 100% knew better. I mean, who the hell was Dimitri gonna get? He got Yasmin, the baddest school in school, technically, according to the universe. And then he's like, you know what? I'm out of state. I'm gonna start messing around now.
What happens in Barcelona stays in Barcelona.
Yup.
Yeah, but it's weird though. I mean, 100%. He was like, Hawk, we have girlfriends. We can't do anything. Come on, Hawk. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, I'll dance with you.
And I haven't even brought them up because they're like whatever's going on with them in their world. Pretty much they're arguing over colleges and shit. So I'm like, whatever with them. I don't even give a shit what's going on with them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just disinterested in them. And the guy Kenny, I'm not really interested in. I mean, he was just Kenny. Another Hulk, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I think they got Kenny. I like Kenny, but here's the fun part. If you look at the show, because he's underage, they can't have him in all the shots. So if you look at the episode where they're tagging people in, and you look in the background, you can see a guy who's clearly like some old freaking stunt double that doesn't look a thing like Kenny in the background. And he's like full on HD in the shot, and it's not Kenny.
Wow. I have never noticed that,
But yeah, I think Kenny has a good potential. I mean, he's the one. He's like Hawk. But his story is a little bit better. I like it. He's the next up-and-coming Karate Kid. His story is a lot like Daniel's.
Yeah. But all of them are like geeks who turn into freaking, well, at least with Dimitri and Hulk.
I would have called Robbie a geek. That dude was like a charming little dude, like a little thief more than a geek.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna have to go, man. I'm having problems right now.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said I gotta go. I'm having problems right now with this plumbing.
Oh, okay. If you want to hop back in, man, we'll be on for just a little bit later. I mean, a little bit longer. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, all right. If you don't get back on, I appreciate you participating so far. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, it ain't no problem.
Yeah, hop back on here, man. Just see if we back on here.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So we're gonna let him finish his plumbing problem. we were at here. Okay, let's talk about. Okay, let's finish out Kim. We mentioned her briefly and her love triangle with Chosen. So, as far as her and her respect for her master, which is her uncle, her devotion to Cobra Kai, where do you think it's going to go?
I think she gonna join up with Miyagi Do because of Chosen. She saw that she doesn't really like violence. She doesn't really like killing people or anything like that. All that mean shit. She knows Kreese is not about honor. I think she'll see how dishonorable Mr. Kreese is being, and how dishonorable Cobra Kai is behaving, and will join up with Chosen and Miyagi Do.
Huh, interesting.
Because you see, she cares about honor in the show.
She does. She very much does. And she won't fight dirty and stuff like that, even when she found out about Terry Silver doing all this shit or whatever.
Now she was like, Chosen, put the knife back. We know what you did.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like your microphone is away from you again.
It is. I was doing something.
Okay. So, these two, what do you think is going to be the outcome of them? Anything?
Daniel can't die, obviously, because he's in the new movie.
Right.
But I think Johnny goes on to be just a dad. I doubt he's gonna stay Cobra Kai. Stay sensei, because he cares more about his kids than he does being a sensei. Because that's what is. Because the only reason he became a sensei is because he had nothing else going for him. You know.
Right.
And now that he's a dad, he has a whole family he has to care for. So that's what he's gonna be focusing on. And then Daniel, I think he's gonna be done with karate altogether after this show because of how everything went with his daughter.
Yeah. I could see the dojos passing on, to different people. So
Yeah,
Daniel,
they're gonna give it to Bert, and he's gonna run Miyagi Do. And
you gonna give it to who?
They're gonna give it to Bert.
Oh God, Bert! Oh my God, no,
He's the
no!
youngest member of Cobra Kai.
Don't even say that. Not Bert. Come on now. I thought you were gonna say somebody else, Miguel or Robbie or somebody.
Well, I
not
think
Bert.
that none of these people have potential to teach. If anybody, they're gonna give it to either Robbie or maybe Robbie's the best option, but I think maybe Chosen might become the next sensei.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
Chosen and Kim care about karate, and they'll be like, we'll start, we'll learn from these people's mistakes, and we'll run karate the right way, teach the true way of Cobra Kai and the true way of Miyagi Do.
Okay.
Together, because I think they'll have more synergy as senseis than than Daniel and Johnny did in the beginning.
Ah, I see. I see. And I don't know why I thought about this, but a lot of people, I don't know if I came up with this or somebody else was saying it, like they're going to connect it to where Master Kim knew Miyagi's father. I hope they don't do stuff like that. It's just too coincidental, that the two universes, some people like those type of things. I don't. What do you think?
I think that I think that's a little far fetched that another sensei just knows another sensei just because they're both senseis. I mean, Bruce Lee never met Jet Li, yet they're both martial arts teachers and stuff. Ip Man never met what's his name, Wang Jack Man, despite they're both being like martial arts legends.
Right.
I think it's reasonable that they never met.
I think
it could be that they've met. It's reasonable that they have met. I think it's not unreasonable that they never met. Because I don't think people know Asia is a pretty big continent.
it is billions of people.
So, I mean, the likelihood of one Asian master knowing another one is very likely.
Right. So it'd be the whole thing like, you remember in Star Wars where they like Darth Vader created C-3PO and all this. I was like, no, this is too big of a world to have a coincidence like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But anyway, okay, we got a few more to go and then we can end this. Uh, actually, that's it. Who did I miss? We even talked about Miguel. I mean, I'm sorry.
We talked about Robbie, I think, a little bit too.
Yeah. I
Did we
mean,
talk about what's gonna happen to the rest of the Cobra Kai, like the rest of Miyagi Do? Because I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the entirety of Miyagi Do, but like, I mean, the characters that started out, like what's gonna happen to like the students. Here's the way I see it: we're gonna get like a flash forward to see Bert winning a tournament, because that dude started out with Cobra Kai, and I think that him winning the All Valley would be cool. Because, it shows that he did progress and he did get stronger despite being one of the smallest members of Cobra Kai at the time.
right.
I think that would be cool to see, like, that even though they don't know, they're no longer a part of this Miyagi-Do, they're still pursuing what they're good at.
Right. Kind of do one of those things where they show each character and they pause the picture and then they have words underneath there. This
And I'm
person is doing this.
hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Miguel went on to be the next karate champion of all time.
Right. And what's his name? Stingray. He's still practicing karate, but he's still a yellow belt.
He's running Cobra Kai. I mean, he's running his own little Cobra Kai. That could be something there. There could be something there. Like he runs the next Cobra Kai era with Chosen. Something dumb like that.
But dude has a yellow belt and claiming to be the master of a karate class. I was like, come on now.
Well, he's just teaching kids. I mean, how bad can he be? He's just teaching children.
Well,
maybe that's what happens. Maybe that's where Kim shows up. She's like, "You don't know anything about karate, do you?" And then she takes over Cobra Kai.
Interesting. Interesting.
And then she gets with Stingray and Chosen gets with Kimiko. That's what happens right there.
Now that'd be funny. That's entertainment for you right there. So let me see. So like you said, everything has to go full circle with the characters in some kind of way. Damn. Either Terry Silver or John Kreese, one of them got to go good. You know what I'm saying? They either got to die, one of them has to turn good, one of them has to see the error in their ways. They have to do something. Maybe one of them goes back to Vietnam and lives the rest of their days there. One of them lives with Master Kim or something like that. I don't know, but something's got to happen. They just can't, just not exist, because they already did the thing where both of them went to jail and both of them got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see them going back to that. You know what I'm saying?
I think that the only one that's kind of redeemable is Kreese. And that's only if they don't have him kill off Tori's mom.
So you think that Kreese is the one that's redeemable, and you don't think that Terry Silver at all will be redeemable?
Terry Silver is a psychopath. He is not redeemable.
So you think he's going down, huh?
Mm-hmm. John Kreese is the lesser of two evils.
Huh. Yep, because Terry Silver, let me see.
The way I see it, maybe that's how it goes. They go back to Master Kim, and then he's like, "You failed me," and he's the one who kills them.
Maybe. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. And so I guess, it's going to be interesting to see how they close this off. So as far as them two, you said that Kreese would probably be the one who gets redeemed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she has to go full circle. So how did she started off as someone that was just by herself and she was taking care of her mom and all that stuff like that, right? And so she wasn't in school. Could you see her going full circle? Like she goes to college and she becomes some high successful person?
I don't think she has college material. I think maybe she goes on to be more considering how she took down the Karate Queen Zura, on camera and stuff, she might have a career in being just a professional fighter. That's Tori's future.
Okay.
And then she uses that money to support her family.
Hmm. Kind of like in those. Yeah, I don't know if you played the Street Fighter games, and it's always like like Dazzlem, and there was another person who fought, and they took that money and invested it back in their communities. In Tekken,
Not
what's the
totally.
wrestler name in Tekken with the tiger face?
That is his name, Tiger Mask.
Is that his name, Tiger Mask?
Yep.
Oh
So,
shit. Okay. Okay. Well, it's always good to have a character do some stuff like that for their community. Um, Sensei Kim, she started off as a character who was totally obsessed with just gaining respect from her uncle. Is Master Kim her uncle, father?
I think it's her father.
Okay.
No, grandfather, I think.
Oh, grandfather. That's right. So, in order for her to go full circle, what would have to happen?
I think she. Well, I doubt she'd go full circle. I think she ends up being the next Cobra Kai sensei alongside Chosen as the Miyagi-Do sensei, and they start their own dojo and teach the proper way of karate, learning from the mistakes of their grandfather and everybody who taught them.
I just thought of this. Maybe she is the bond that, that closes the gap between Terry Silver and John Kreese. You remember how it was with the father of Miyagi when he was about to die, and he brought those their two hands together or something like that. And it was like, my final wish is for y'all to, I don't know, some kind of way. Maybe she finds a way to keep Terry Silver and John Kreese from killing each other or something. I don't know. What you think? You there, David?
Yeah, I think. I doubt she'd be the bridge.
Okay.
Because Terry Silver pissed her off, and Kreese pissed her off because he brought the knife and killed one of her students that she thought of like a son. I doubt she'd be with either one of them, like teaming up with either one of them anymore.
Okay.
Because the way she sees it, she's been training these kids since, they were little kids. They're practically her children by this point. So, Kreese bringing that knife and basically killing one of them, I mean, I doubt she'd be down to help Kreese anymore.
Right. Okay.
And that's why she joins up with Stingray, because he's teaching little children, and she's like, "Aw."
That's a great point. So the whole thing, Stingray wasn't in part 2. So for him to bring back in part 3, that would bring him full circle too. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. At the end, there's a little epilogue. Maybe she runs Cobra Kai now. Stingray is like the face of the operation, and then Chosen is helping teach Miyagi-Do as well. But in reality, they're not running rival dojos. They're like next to each other. They're like right next to each other, teaching different philosophies.
Right.
But it'd be like, the end of Dragon Ball Z where you got Hercule as the savior of the Earth, the face of the operation. That's what Stingray would be.
Like a figurehead.
Yeah. Because he's got the personality. Kim is not a very charismatic person, and neither is Chosen. Like visually. You know what I mean? They're visually cool. Like, they do a bunch of stuff, but like charisma-rise, Stingray has more charisma and there's a stage presence about him.
Right.
He'd 100% be like the mascot of Cobra Kai.
I got you. That makes perfect sense, as a matter of fact. I never thought of it like that. So
that's the way I see it. I doubt she'd go back to her grandfather because she doesn't want to go back as a failure.
Or maybe she does. Oh, I just thought about this. You know how Chosen and when he came back and he was explaining to Daniel, he was like, until I figured out nobody can take your honor from you. And so maybe Chosen tells her that and is like, look, you worried about the honor of your grandfather, and you see where Terry Silver was worried about the honor of Kreese, and he was like, I had to break away from it. And so maybe Chosen teaches her, look, you need to stop being a slave to your grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she breaks away that kind of way.
I think that's reasonable.
Interesting.
No, because the way I mean, hold on, I'm gonna call it. The way I see it is, uh, she cares about people's opinions. She's a warrior at heart, but she'll drop a lot of stuff just to help out her grandfather and to prove that she's a great warrior to him, because ever since she was a kid, she wanted to impress him, right?
Right.
I think Chosen talking some sense into her would help. That'd be the way that they get together officially. You know what I mean?
Right. I
And
think
then
so
she's
too.
like, I'll find my own honor, and forge my own path. And then she goes to Reseda with him, and then they start the dojo.
Ah.
It'd probably be under a new name too, something really cool.
That will be cool. I bet you it's gonna be funny too. You know, uh, and they might even name it like you said. Let Stingray be the figurehead. So Stingray martial arts or something.
Miyagi Kai.
I don't believe it's gonna be on the nose like that, but something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they tried to call it Miyagi Fang. Miyagi Kai sounds a little cooler.
It does kind of. So I think we covered everybody. Here's Daniel. We've already talked about them, how they go full circle. Oh, Daniel. So when he started off, he was the little runt and he won the tournament. And so I think that, he learned how to, at the end, he learned how to just let go of everything. Because when the Cobra Kai started off, he was hell bent on, he kind of had PTSD from Cobra Kai and stuff like that. And so he was hell bent on taking Cobra Kai down. So now he's kind of like, letting Cobra Kai destroy itself. And I'm just gonna sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? Be less active.
The way I see it is, Daniel was the first one to notice not Chosen, Quan was gonna do that shit with the knife. He's the first one who saw it. I think that's his shit. That's gonna be the point where he's like, yeah, no more karate. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get involved anymore. Somebody died for this. I can't let this happen. And that's why he ends Miyagi Do for himself, so that way he doesn't have to see any more children die because of some stupid karate feud, right?
Yeah, well,
And
maybe.
that's why he ends Miyagi Do, and that's why Chosen reopens it so he could teach everyone the true way of karate.
Right.
Like I think he appreciates what Daniel's doing. I think he knows that Daniel is caring about the Miyagi Do way. But I think that Chosen has the potential to, his redeem. He teaches. He already has been a sensei. In the second movie, he taught all those soldiers like the his grandfather's way.
Right. He even
So I
says in Cobra Kai when Daniel visits him in Okinawa, he says, I gotta go because I have a class to teach. So he's still teaching. You
maybe
know.
that's why. Maybe he's like, I run Miyagi Do now, and I teach it the proper way, the way Daniel LaRusso had.
Right. So we've covered that. We just talked about Chosen and how he comes full circle. You know, so now he's teaching Miyagi Do, and he was very scared about being a coward too. And they show one scene to where like he was a little boy and his father, his uncle was calling him a coward for doing that. That's why he hates cowards because he used to be a coward. So shows his bravery at the end. I guess that's why he's jumping into all these fights too. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to prove to himself he's not a coward anymore.
Maybe that's why he teaches Cobra Kai. So instead of running away from your battles, teaching Miyagi Do, instead of running away from your battles, it's all right to defend yourself and not be a coward.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying, I like the idea. I like the idea of him being the next leader of Miyagi Do and maybe Cobra Kai alongside Kim if they do stay together.
Right. That it's going to be interesting to see where that one ends up. And of course, the last one. I don't know why I was thinking about Chosen. Like they found out he owns, well, I think we already think that he owns his all his uncle's stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like his uncle left a lot of stuff in the will, and he changed some stuff around for Okinawa or whatever. Um, but the last one, and we started off by talking about her, but so with everything we just said about all these characters going full circle, does your opinion about her joining in the end, does it change? You have any other theories about how she might join in the last
Well,
season?
I said before, I mean, there is a way. Maybe she's the one. Maybe Quan didn't die, but the fact that he almost did made it so, she comes back and she heals Quan with the stuff that Miyagi taught her, you know?
Right.
Because that's what people were theorizing when Miguel got injured. Uh, that's where Julie Pierce shows up to help heal him and to save him, basically.
Right.
I think that could be it. Miyagi Do taught her how to handle it, and she, practically saves Quan right then and there. Well, maybe not right
Okay.
then and there, but she teaches. I think that's the only way I could see it coming now. Is like if she learned Miyagi Do's healing abilities,
Mm-hmm.
like that's the only way I could see it.
Especially like that part in the first Karate Kid movie where Daniel got his butt beat and Mr. Miyagi was putting something on his face and he was like, "This stuff stinks." He was like, "Stink bad, heal good." You know what I'm saying? And he had that other stuff where in the part, what was it, part three, where Terry Silver was trying to train him and he bruised his leg or his arm, one of the ones, and he soaked it in there and it healed his arm real fast. You
Yeah, I
remember
remember.
that?
Yeah, I remember that where he broke his foot. I think it was like his foot, like his toes were injured.
Oh yeah, it sure was his foot, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he was having him kick a bunch of wood.
That's right. Sure was. And it bruised it real bad and he soaked it in there. I guess it was like some super duper Epsom salts or something.
I think it could be like that. I think that's again if she learned that from Miyagi, maybe that's how they help Quan if he is officially not if he is not dead. But that's again he's the likelihood of him not being dead is unlikely.
Right, right.
I mean that dude got a knife to the chest. Either way, even if he doesn't survive, even if he survived getting stabbed like not in a vital place, he's still probably gonna bleed out.
Yes, yes. It's gonna take some heavy retconning to see, where he was stabbed at and stuff like that. I mean, they've done it in Star Wars before because they'd be like, look, what was it? Qui-Gon Jinn was stabbed in the stomach and he died, but there's been some other people who have been stabbed in their stomach and not died, and they were, oh, it wasn't a vital organ. Oh, it carotid the arteries or so, not carotid, but um, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you got what's it called?
What?
He
Yeah, what it
caught
sauterizes.
cauterize the injury instead of what's the word I'm looking for here? It like caramelized the blood and stopped it from bleeding out.
Right, right. They always have some crazy little explanation. So maybe I don't know. And like I said, they took the knife out and they had some super way to take him to the emergency room real fast, and because it showed him laying there and his eyes were already open like he was dead. I don't know if it takes that short of a time to kill for somebody to die and with their eyes open and everybody was just staring at him in shock or whatever.
I
So
I doubt they just kill him like that. I think that it might be a good send off to teach like this is not the Cobra Kai is not the way. This is why you don't want to learn Cobra Kai karate. You'll die.
right. Or it could be another fake out like what Kreese did when we thought he was stabbed to death in jail.
Well, I doubt that. That'd be a lot of work.
That would almost be hilarious. That would almost be comical. You know. So anyway, looks like, do you have any other thoughts before we close this out? Cobra Kai for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I think the only one that hasn't shown up is Julie Pierce, and when she finally does, I think it's gonna be very cool.
Okay. I guess the last thing I'm gonna ask you is this new Karate Kid movie that they're making after Cobra Kai. What do you think is the plot's going to be about?
I don't know. I don't know. I can't discern, but I do know it's gonna be really weird because it's called the Karate Kid, yet Mr. Han is in it and he teaches kung fu. So like, what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna teach him more? Are they gonna teach him kung fu? Because how is Daniel Larusso gonna teach him karate if another guy is teaching him kung fu at the same time? A man can't have two masters, man.
True. Now, I will tell you this, a little history of karate. Now, karate is a Japanese martial art. And I've said this before. A lot of people think that karate is ancient, but the television, the telephone, the light bulb, all those things are older than karate. Okay. It was made circa World War II. Before then, it was Japanese Okinawan Tei, which Okinawan Tei came from China. And that's what they got right in the Karate Kid movie, the first one. Karate came from Okinawan Tei and, well, Chinese Tei, which means the hand, in about the 16th century. So Mr. Han is from China. Original karate came from China. Maybe they're trying to do the prequel that they wanted to do for Karate Kid Part 3. And Mr. Han knows ancient Chinese Tei, and before it was Okinawan Tei.
I don't know
So
about all that. I mean, think about this. I mean, I doubt Dre Parker in his movie was using some ancient Chinese kung fu in his whatever the heck he was doing. He was doing backflips and stuff.
yeah, that was some crazy stuff. You know, that little finishing move that Jaden Smith did.
The way I see it, again, I know I keep saying, if he, even though it is a bit more goofy, I did like that movie a lot as a kid because it was like a modern Karate Kid, and I liked it, even though like it was kung fu, and not karate. The only reason it was called that is because the brand recognition. And actually in China itself, it was called the Kung Fu Kid.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was just in America that it was called Karate Kid 2010.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, there's always a difference in name. Even with video games, they're always called something different. Even with movies, you know, you go to another country and they call it something else, you know. So, um, I am looking forward to that. If you guys are watching this, of course, this is not live, so you guys are watching it later on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to discuss this further in detail, if you have any other theories, put them in the put a comment in the links below. This is the KillaKrane Speaks On podcast. So if you have any ideas for any podcast topics, let me know. Of course, we got to give the shout outs toward the end. Look out for my book. Go on Amazon right now, Blackjack and the Beanstalk. Okay, this is like a modern day urban version of the old story, Jack and the Beanstalk. It has nothing to do with ogres and magic beans and stuff like that, but it's a modern day urban adaptation of the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. We have the I'm sorry, I'm just checking messages. Okay, so we have, wait 1 minute. Did you go to any of them? Sorry, I knew somebody was going to call me. Anyway, This is my book, Planet Furball and the Heretic Kitten. It's about a world called Planet Furball, and that there are two species on there on the left continent and the right continent. It's cats and rats. The cats are the superior race per se, and the rats are looked upon as the inferior race that are unintelligent and all these things. So check that book out. It's on Amazon right now. Oh, people need to call me at the wrong time. Anyway, the next book is my boy Jeffrey Jara Millions. When Happiness Spreads. Let me remove that banner right here so you guys can see it. There it is right there. Check out his book when you can. I'm reading through it right now. Also, my girl Monique Silver, Untold Lies of a Silent Heart. If you like Tyler Perry type stories, this is the book for you. Go to on Printify. I have my store. It's called By Vinaris. B-Y, the first word, and Vinaris. Vinaris. You see my name right up here on the screen. That is my brand recognition. Rep the SIP. It means representing Mississippi. Check it out when you guys can. I have hoodies, mugs, toys, everything with my brand recognition on it. I also have, this is the KillaKrane Productions. So you guys can buy merch for my KillaKrane Productions business, t-shirts, hats, all of those good things. So check it out. Go to Printify. I should post a link. I will in the description. So it's called By Vinaris is the name of the store, and Rep the Sip is the brand. Let's see. Once again, I know you hate doing this. I'm sorry, David. Tell people about Everest Productions.
Everest Productions is my friend Lord Crit's production company. We make fan films, fan projects, and fan dubs. We've been working mostly on Star Wars things. I haven't been working on it. I don't voice act in the Star Wars stuff, but he has been working very hard with his crew and making the new and improved version of the Star Wars franchise. If you loved the original Star Wars films, you'll love these fan films because we like to take inspiration from these films and create a story that everybody will enjoy if you enjoyed the original Star Wars. Currently, we are bringing back the Batman series because I'm playing Robin, and we finally found a Batgirl after like months and months of waiting for another part of the episode, like a year actually. And now we're bringing it back. We're bringing back more content for the fans, for everybody. We know that people love this content, so we're excited to see more people see it. Juice Weezers is my friend and I's Jake's content where we make videos, we play games, we have fun. Sometimes we do vlogs. We haven't done one yet, but I bought a camera and we're gonna probably do some soon. We do live streams, we do gaming. We just have a fun time. If you like gaming content and you like people just having fun and relaxing, you got yourself a good podcast right there to recommend. Well, not podcast, live stream right there to recommend, and that's what Juice Weezers is. A YouTube channel where we play games and have a good time, and Everest Productions production company where we make videos and fan films that people will enjoy, hopefully, and recommend to their friends.
Right on, as we used to say I was born in 78, so as they used to say in the 70s. Sounds very interesting. If you guys are interested in joining his production in any kind of way, you can always leave me a message or you can look him up. Grim Fate. Give it up to my girl Lovatia Experience. She does Sex Positive podcast. She has a number of other stuff. She has an all natural products that she does, creams, lotions, things of that nature. My boy Barrington Marson abiding on Tubi right now. My boy Lamar Hicks, the L Dog himself, does a podcast called Flavor in Your Ear. He is on a hiatus right now, but he will be getting back to it as soon as he can. Like I said, my book Planet Furball and the Heretic Kitten is available on Amazon. I do play video games, but I'm gonna change this up. I'm gonna have to change this. Usually I try to do it on Sunday where I play video games live, and it's mostly old school. So I have like a original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation. I have over 16 old school video game systems, and I play them, even the old arcade games, the TMNT, the Simpsons, all those games. I play them live. If you guys would like to see me play those games, or if you have a game that you have in mind that is from the old school, let me know. I'll play it live for you. This is the KillaKrane Speaks On podcast. If you want to contact me or look at any other videos that I've done, go to my YouTube page or my YouTube channel rather. It is KillaKrane Productions, KillaKrane Productions. You can send me an email about any ideas for anything. If you want to collab, have an idea for a podcast or a production, you can send me an email, KillaKraneProductions@gmail.com, KillaKrane Productions@gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Instagram. That's Vinaris KillaKrane Productions, Vinaris KillaKrane Productions. I'm also on TikTok, so you can look it up. Vinaris being Vinaris, my first name, Vinaris Vinaris. Oh, I'm sorry, Vinaris being Being, and my name again, first name Vinaris. So Vinaris being Vinaris. That is all the shout outs. I do this podcast. This is not live. I'm recording it because I don't want spoilers to get to other people who haven't seen Cobra Kai season 6 part 2. But every Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, I do this podcast, the KillaKrane Speaks On. David, do you have any idea for what podcast subject for the next podcast?
Well, we already discussed Cobra Kai and everything, so I don't know. There could be a lot of stuff. Again, we already did the crossover one. We could do another part 2 of that. There's a lot of stuff we could do. I have no recommendations currently. I'm just happy to be on the board.
And I really appreciate you. I appreciate Double Barrel Daryl. I appreciate Fidelsky. I appreciate Marzel. He tried his best to get on here. There's some ideas I wanted to throw around, like the shows that didn't age well. That you mentioned something about shows that got a reboot that didn't need a reboot or something like that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, 100%.
That
It
would
was,
be
it was movies that didn't need a remake and shows that didn't need a reboot.
right. I think you mentioned like the Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Tom and Jerry and all that.
Yep.
That's a good idea. So if and some other ideas, let me see, urban legends in different shows. You know, we've all heard those urban legends of music stars and movie stars. The one about what was it? Not Alice. What is his name that took the rib removed from his chest so he could
Marilyn Manson.
Manson, yes. So you guys have heard this old rumor. He took his rib out so he could please himself orally. You know what I'm saying? So little stuff like that. So we can discuss those again. I've heard urban legends with like different cartoons. Me and David spoke about that. Some of them are super sad, like the reason behind the Rugrats and or why Angelica acts like she does and stuff like that. Super sad stuff. Let me see, controversy behind the scenes with movies and stuff. We were talking about the Super Mario movie and how John Leguizamo and what's his name that played Mario? What's that?
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins. Yeah, how they were fighting on set, getting drunk, running over people's feet with the vehicles, just all kind of stuff. So if you guys would like to talk about that, let me see, black shows you may not have known that were on the UPN channel. I'm looking up here at my board, just different things. So if you guys have an idea for a podcast, I have several different ideas. Go to my Facebook page. It's called The KillaKrane Speaks On. THE, The KillaKrane, KillaKrane Speaks On. ... And you could get on that group page on Facebook. I think that's about it. Any final thoughts or anything, David?
Nothing comes to mind. Nothing
Okay.
comes to mind.
Okay. You're in the group chat, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Email, Facebook, Instagram, anything. I appreciate you, David, for being on. I appreciate Double Barrel Daryl, Fidelsky, those who wanted to join, like Ken. I think that for some reason I can't have about 4 people on. So if you tried to join and couldn't, I still appreciate you. I'm working on it. I'm looking into it, the specifications or what may have happened. But I appreciate you guys. And this Friday, which would be the 30th of November, 2024, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are in my old neck of the woods in Mississippi and all that, that's 6 p.m. Central Time, but 7 p.m. Eastern Time if you're in the Atlanta metro area or anywhere up and down the East Coast. And if you're further than that, you'd have to calculate it yourself. Okay. So anyway, appreciate you guys, and y'all have a good night. Thank you very much.
See you, Mr. Scott.
All right, appreciate you, David. Again, take care.